Hi everybody, Colin Ross here at Truckee Meadows Community College Music 101, lecture number 16. Today we are using the 1970 Lennon-McCartney song, Let It Be, as an analysis tool and a teaching tool for forms, melodies, and chord progressions. We are going to analyze the chord progression, we are going to analyze the melody notes, and we are going to analyze the form, and we are going to use the sheet music to learn about some of the ways in which sheet music forms are delineated and some of the symbols for the way the repeats and the form delineations work. All right, so you will, if you're not familiar with this song, you need to click on the YouTube link and listen to it a few times. It's a very simple song. This is why it's kind of a good teaching tool. So there's a YouTube link on the module and you need to listen to it a few times. And also the sheet music is uploaded into the module as well. So it's going to really help you to have the sheet music to look at and the YouTube to listen to. All right, we're going to start at the beginning of the song with analyzing the chord progression. So we're in the key of C. As you can see on the sheet music, you need to get out your sheet music for this. And it starts with a slow tempo, and we are going to, I'm first going to play the piano music that's written there, and then we're going to look at the chord symbols and the guitar symbols. So we're in the key of C, and it's just triads, and we're going to analyze the chord progression. So we know that in the key of C, the 1 chord is C, the 2 chord is D minor, the 3 chord is E minor, the 4 chord is F, the 5 chord is G, the 6th chord is A minor, and the 7th chord is B diminished. So it starts with C, G, so that's 5, then it goes to A minor, that's 6, 4, and if you listen carefully, there's a passing 5 in between there, 6, so it's actually 6, 6, 5, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the bass goes 4, 5, 1, but the chord progression goes 4, 3, 2, 1, so we got 1, 1, 5, 6, 4, 1, 5, 4, down to 1. So 4, 3, 2, 1. And the bass line, like I said, goes 4, 5, 1. Other than that, the bass lines play exactly what the chord progression is by root. So the root of each chord is the name of the chord that it is. So C, G, A, F, go. F, G, C. So that's the chord progression. 1, 1, 5, 5, 6, 6, passing 5, 4, 1, 1, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I should really be using the Roman numerals for that instead of the Arabic numerals that I used in the document, but you'll have to just imagine the Roman numerals. All right, so let's take a look at this sheet music for another way to analyze this chord progression. You'll notice that the intro to the sheet music is just a normal grand staff, just like what you're used to, where you write your key signatures or your 7th chords or any of that other stuff that I'm asking about. Notice above the sheet music, there are two things. There's a diagram of a guitar neck, and that's called tablature, and that's, chord charts, chord tabs. So that's the actual pictures of where your fingers go on the guitar neck to form that C chord. And then above that symbol is the letter name of the chord. So for starters, we're just going to do a real simple analysis looking at only the letter names of the chords. So here's the C, that's the 1. There's the G, that's the 5. There's the A minor, that's the 6. The F, that's the 4. The C, that's the 1. The G, that's the 5. The F, that's the 4. The G7, that's the 1, and the C. So that part where it goes da-dum-bum-bum, the chord symbols just go 4, 5, 1. Now if you look at the piano music goes 4, 3, 2, 1, and you can hear that when I play it. But so we got 1, 5, 5, 6, 4, 1, 5, 4, 3, 1, and the bass line went 4, 5, 1. So on the guitar chords, the 1, C, G, A minor. I should pick this, I'm sorry, that was lame. All right. A minor 6, 4, da, 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 da. Instead of going da, 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 bump, it goes da, 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 instead of da, 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 bum. So they simplified the guitar chart, so it's that bum, 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 ba, da, da, ba, da, bum, bum. So the guitar chords follow that simplified bass line, but the actual piano part follows the melody line. All right, so the next part I wanted to explain is the concept of the piano vocal version of sheet music. So that was the intro line we were looking at there. And then you see that on the next line that there's 3 sets of music written. One is a treble clef by itself, and the other is the grand staff. So in this format, the grand staff represents the piano music, and the piano music can be the actual piano part that the piano player plays, which it is in this case, because it's a Paul McCartney playing this very simple little octaves part and so forth. But sometimes in sheet music, that piano music will be an abstraction of a bunch of guitar parts and a bunch of stuff that might not have even ever been piano. It'll be a piano arrangement of the background track. And then above that is a treble clef, and it's vocal. So one thing with this is, you'll notice that the vocal is written on the second line there, the G. That's this G here. But he doesn't actually sing it there. He sings it here. When I find myself in time of... So that illustrates one of the things that happens quite frequently with piano vocal sheets, which is that the vocal itself is actually down an octave from where it's written. So this is a male vocal, but it's actually written in treble clef, and it doesn't say anywhere that it's transposed an octave, but it is. So moving on, what you guys are going to do for your assignment is go through the rest of the chord progression and analyze what the rest of the chord progression is. So let's take a listen to it. And if you listen to the lecture, it's probably going to be very easy to analyze the chord progression because I'm going to give you all the answers. So it starts with 1, 1, 5, 5, 4, 6 to 4, 1, 4, 3 to 1. Then let's look at the first verse. When I find myself in time. So we got 1, 5, 6. Exactly the same as the intro. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. So the chord progression that I wrote in your notes is the chord progression for the first verse, or first half of the verse. Then let's look at the second half of the verse. And in my hour of darkness, she is there. So that's the same thing again. 1, 5, 6, 4, 1, 5, 4, and 1. Finally, we're at the third line of the second page. We're at the chorus, let it be. So it goes A minor, G, so that's 6 to 5, 4, 1. Once again, let it be, 6, 5, sorry, God, 5, 4, 1, 5, 4, down to 1. All right. So that's the whole chord progression for the whole song. All it does is rearrange that over and over in different formats after that. So now let's take a look at the scale degrees of the melody. So we're in the key of C, and we notice that the melody starts on the note G. So that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I find myself in 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 3. 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 3. When I find myself in, now moving on, times of trouble. 5, 5, 8, 9, 10, 10, 10, 9, 9, 8. So you see that I'm having a hard time singing it in that key because I'm not a tenor. And so let's say I wanted to do that in a different key, but it's still going to be 5, 5, 6, 5, or 5, 5, 5, 6, 5, I can talk. 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 3, 5, 5, 8, 9. So let's say my 8 and 9 are a little high for me. So let's take it down to G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I 5, 5, 6, 3, 5, 5, 8, 9. So the point is, rather than memorize the melody as G, G, A, G, 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 E, G, A, E, G, G, C, D, E, F, F, F. If you memorize it by the names of the notes and the actual positions of the notes, every time you change keys, if you can't sing it in that key, or if you want to change keys for any other reason, or if you just want to play the melody where you're hearing it, you're memorizing a whole new set of notes. But the way I do it, and the way a lot of musicians that play by ear and or read also, a lot of more advanced musicians, I guess you'd say, is you're hearing the scale degrees and you're memorizing the scale degrees, and when you change keys, that doesn't change. Neither does the chord progression. So if I want to play it here in the original key, the melody's going 5, 5, 6, 3, 5, 5, 8, 9, 10, 10, 10, 9, 9, 8, 8, and the chord progression's going 1, 5, 6, 4. So let's say I want to do that in A. So here I am in A. 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 3, 5, 5, 8, 9, and the chord progression 1, 5, 6, 4. Doesn't matter what key I play that in. It's still 5, 5, 6, 3, 5, 5, 8, 9. And the chord progression is still 1, 5, 6, 4. So, your assignment will be to go through the rest of the melody, which is the chorus and the second half of the verses, and write down the scale degrees of the melody. And go through the chord progression and write down the rest of the chord progression. I already wrote down the first half of the melody and the first half of the chord progression in the notes. That brings us to the form. So the way that the form works in this particular sheet music format is they've got all these verses and choruses, but it's only down to 3 pages. So here's what happens. You see that first verse starts with a chord symbol, and a repeat symbol right here. See the double line and the 2 dots? It's a little hard to see. Double line and the 2 dots. Also, please notice this symbol above it. That's called a segno, a symbol, a sign. All right, so the form works like this. The intro happens on the piano, and it gets to here, and the intro never happens again. So, then it does the first verse, which goes to the next page. Then it does the first chorus, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There, whisper words of wisdom. Oops, we're down here. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be, let it be. Then look very carefully here at this section. You'll notice that right here is a repeat symbol. And above that is, this is the section, you see this bracket? The first time you get to this, you do this, and the third time, you see the little 1 and 3 there? So the first time you get here, you do this repeat sign. So we just got here the first time. So now we go back to this repeat sign on the former page, and we do the second verse. The brokenhearted, and when the brokenhearted, actually when the is here, see? It's on the other page. The first ending is when, and when, it goes back to here. The brokenhearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be, let it be. And then we're up here for though they may be part of the second half of the second verse. And here we go to the chorus again. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. When we get here, we're gonna not take this one because it's not the first or the third one. Where is it? I'm sorry. We're not at the first or the third time, we're on the second time. So we skip to the other page and you see the bracket here with the numbers 2 and 4. So we're now gonna take the second ending. So the second ending is this line, which is actually the chorus again. And it goes through the chorus again. Let it be, da 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 da. So when we get to that, end of that section, it says DS al coda. See that? Gotta find DS al coda. Now, the S stands for the segno. Remember the segno at the beginning? There it is, D segno al coda. So when we go back to the segno, which is the first verse again, minus the intro. So it's basically a way of skipping the intro. So here we are at the segno, and now we're gonna do verse 3, and it says instrumental. So we follow it through, and this is that raging guitar solo. And he gets to the end of the raging guitar solo here, and that is ending number 3. That's the third time we've gotten to this spot. So what do? We take this, pick up, and when, we go back to the repeat sign, because here's the repeat sign. We go back to, and we sing the fourth verse. The night is cloudy, there's still a light that shines on me, shine until tomorrow, let it be, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be, let it be. Now we're at the chorus again. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Now we get here, since this is the fourth time, we're gonna skip this bracket since it's not number 1 or number 3, but it's number 4. So we go over here and we find the bracket. Okay, here we are, let it be. That takes us to here, which is the chorus again. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be, let it be. Then it does the little dun 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 dun. This time, when you get to here, it's to the coda. So that's the sign for the coda right there in next to the last measure of the next to last stave on the last page. And here is the coda. So when you get to this symbol, the coda symbol, that means you skip to the coda. Here's the little coda and has the coda symbol. And the coda is only one measure. Da, dun, dun, dun. So you will see that I wrote out the form on your notes, and this form is intro, verse, chorus. And the first ending, you look at the bracket, says number 1, goes back to the top. You sing the second verse. You go through the second verse, the second chorus. And when you get to that end of the second chorus, you take the bracket that says number 2 and 4, since it's number 2. That takes you to a repeat chorus. At the end of that repeat chorus is the DS als coda. So you go back to the S, which is the beginning of the whole song minus the intro. And you do the instrumental segment to the end of the instrumental chorus. Since you're on the third one, you take the third ending, which is the repeat sign, back to the verse. You sing the fourth verse, and you take the fourth ending on the chorus, which takes you to the repeat chorus. And this time, instead of going all the way to the end of it, you skip from the coda symbol to the coda. So that's a form called DS al coda. So you'll need to notice that weird little segno and the circle with the plus sign through it, which is the coda sign. All right, so there you go. So your assignment is going to be to finish analyzing the melody and the chord progression. All right, talk to you later.